Hello, everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. Um, Yesterday it was a Women Day. Now, I am not against for sure to have something is called Women Day, but I don't know how much is useful this day is. However, these days there is Father Day, Women Day, Valentine Day. There's many days, but most of those days is either commercial or to present something. Let us say either for commercial agenda or for political agenda. Now everybody have the right to present himself and to speak of himself, the women or the men. But for me, I don't really like the idea of having something just. I mean, we as a human, we should always defend each other rights, and men should be part of any movement to protect women rights. Not only it's a Women Day. Let us say I prefer to have a Human Day. Now, Women Day yesterday, the women in Turkey, they went by tens of thousands, marched in the streets in almost every city. But in Istanbul, when the prayer of Islam started, the women there, they start making any insult noise to. This is the video. Actually, I post a link for it under the in the comment. You can watch it. I'm not going to play it because this is not my video. I cannot play it in my channel. So when they start hearing the prayer of the adhan, which means calling to pray for Muslims, those tens of thousands of women, they start saying "ooh" and they start whistling. And Erdogan, he made a speech about those women insulting Islam, how they are disgraced, how they are filthy, how they are trashy, how they are garbage, that they are the trash of Turkey. Now you see this idiot Erdogan, he did not notice that he did fool those people, and he came to an election and they voted for him because one day he told them, I'm not going to bring religion upon you. Even he signed a paper saying, I will not involve Islam in any party I establish. And this is always what Muslims they do. And this is what Muhammad he did. Tactique, stage by stage. First we fool them. We make them, we get in the office. And after we get in the office, then you cannot take us off. And now those people in Turkey, they felt really what happened exactly to them. So their enmity into Islam became bigger and bigger, to the point they cannot even accept to hear the shouting of the prayer of Allah, even though they are considered themselves supposedly as Muslims. But obviously they don't want to be Muslims, and they hate to be Muslims. If you watch the video, you will see how they were so upset. And by the way, how ugly is the guy who is praying. I mean, his voice is really ugly. Again, the video, the link is down there. You can click it and you can see yourself. So the second the prayer started, those women, they start shouting and screaming. And then when Erdogan, he made a speech about women who did that, he said everything the prophet he said about them is true. Everything the prophet he said about them is true. No, I don't speak Turkish. Somebody told me that this is what he said. He said they are disrespectful, they are garbage, they are whatever. I don't know, like, this is what, like, he's insulting, supposedly he's insulting back because they insulted his God. Now we need always to understand the background of Islam when it's come to women. Women in Islam are not even second-hand citizen or third-hand citizen. women in Islam as described by Muhammad, the prophet of Erdogan, the best man of Erdogan, as she is the devil. Muhammad, he said that women, she advances and retires in the shape of the devil. So Erdogan in his speech, he was making a comment about women, saying what you expect of them. I mean, the prophet, he said the truth about them. They are the devil. They are women. Here we notice and we remember that when Muslims, they say to us, like, we have 1.5 billion Muslim. What they count exactly? They count everybody is born in Turkey as a Muslim. Everyone is born in Iran as a Muslim. But is that really resemble the reality? The reality I saw in this video is telling me that there is a huge number. I don't know, maybe 60%, maybe 50%. I'm not sure what is the percentage of people who don't believe in Islam. Maybe even more. We do not know. You know, the Turkish now, they live in a dictator state where anybody speak against Erdogan, he go to jail. This guy in one day, he released 80,000 people of their jobs from the government in one day. I mean, how in the world? Journalists are in jail, police officers in jail, nurses, doctors, journalists, even the guy who cleaned the garbage in the street. If they suspect that he is against Erdogan, they put him in jail. So Turkey today became the biggest jail exists in that area. But yet Erdogan always he speak about the favor of Allah and how Allah will bring justice. So justice in Islam is, if you don't speak with Islam, the justice of Islam, we are going to oppress you, and we are going to put you in jail. And if you are a woman, we are going to humiliate you. Actually, I saw the videos how the police are beating the women. I mean, it's a women day and they are marching in the street. Why the police is even there? Are they breaking windows? No. Are they burning cars? No. So why the police are in the street and they are beating the women? I could not really, I mean, look at this. I don't know if you can see it clear without playing the video. Why even the police is in the street? Why Erdogan, he put the police in the street in a women day? What's exactly happening there? They are women, and they are not burning cars. They are not shouting Allahu Akbar, we want to kill you. And look what happened. One of you who live in Turkey, he posted in the text and he said that today thousands of from the party of Erdogan, which means from the Mujahideen, you know, the one who support jihad against those who don't believe in Allah, they marched in the street in the capital of Turkey, in Ankara, and they were shouting Allahu Akbar, and they were threatening those women who did supposedly insulted Islam. So you can say that Turkish society is very much divided, and always the minority, as long they are terrorists, they can oppress the majority. You see, if we have a street, have, let us say, 2,000 family, and we have only 20 criminals, 2,000 versus 20 criminals, I assure you that the 20, they will scare the hell of the 2,000 family, because everybody will say it's not my business, I don't want to get killed. Until one day people, they cannot take it no more, and they go in what is called revolution. And I believe Turkey is going to face that sooner or later. The revolution is going to happen, and this is the only way to get rid of the Islamists. You see, they fabricate election. Like first time Erdogan, maybe he won, it was by true election, but not the second, and not the third, and not the fourth. This guy, he will never leave. That's it. Those people, wherever they take a place, they don't leave unless you have a revolution. In Iran, they have an election every 4 years, but guess what? The election It is the mullahs who decide who can go for election, and all the election is corrupt, and Turkey is no different. Since the Turkish Islamic Party of Erdogan took over, there's no real election ever. Even in the past election, when everybody was expecting Erdogan to lose, because simply, I mean, economy is so bad, jobs, money, businesses, things is messed up. Yet again, Erdogan, he won the election. How that can happen? Simply because Allah is in his side. You know, obviously, because the corruption they control and they corrupt the election. And all the opposition parties at that time, they said this is a big scam and there's no true election happening. But that's it. As I said, they enter from the door. You cannot let them leave until you kick them out from the window. And I believe that Turkey is going to suffer a very bad time because of Erdogan. Look what Erdogan he did. He thought he can take over Syria. So he sponsored the Muslim Brotherhood, his party in Syria, hoping in few weeks Syria will be under his command. So, and at that time, if you remember, if we go, just to give you a little bit of the plan of Erdogan, Erdogan is not a local guy. You know, the Muslim Brotherhood, they are not local people, they are international. And their plan is take over the world, not even the Middle East. If we go in the map here, and I will put the map on the screen for you, so you can see with me what I'm talking about. Erdogan is a Muslim Brotherhood. Now, somebody will say they have different name for their party. Yeah, the Muslim Brotherhood, they have many names for their party, but all of them they have one. They are one party. This is why Muslim Brotherhood in Turkey, Erdogan, he hate very much the Egyptian regime because they are anti-Muslim Brotherhood. But look what happened. 8 years ago, Erdogan, he sponsored the war in Syria, big deal, and he opened his borders to all kind of terrorists, including ISIS, to come from around the earth, to come into Syria, hoping that in a few weeks they will be able to destroy the government in there. And then he was sure, because the biggest party in the ground, which is organized not by population but by organization, is the Muslim Brotherhood party. He was sure that the Muslim Brotherhood will take over Damascus and will take over Syria. And if this happened, that's mean, and in the same time, in case you don't remember, if you remember, the Muslim Brotherhood, they took over Egypt government. So now Turkey is Muslim Brotherhood. If Erdogan he can change Syria into Muslim Brotherhood, Jordan will be next, which is very easy to do actually, and that will make an empire of the Muslim Brotherhood, rounding all the way around the Mediterranean. And actually, if you remember, when the USA ambassador, he was killed in Libya, the reason he was killed because Obama, he was in total agreement with the Turkish president, because Obama, I believe strongly, he is a Muslim Brotherhood too. Hillary Clinton, she met only one person in Libya, only one person, after what it's called revolution, and that was the head of the Muslim Brotherhood in Libya. So the plan was, with the help of Obama, Turkey, Syria, Jordan, Egypt, Libya. And actually, in case you do not know, that even Tunisia, the Muslim Brotherhood, they were able to control it. So the plan was very simple. they will establish an empire from Europe, from Istanbul, from here, all the way here, surrounding Israel from all direction, all the way to Morocco. And for sure, Morocco is going to be next. In the same time, the Muslim Brotherhood, they were planning to take over Saudi Arabia, and almost actually they succeed. But the Saudi intelligence, they were able to discover about them, and the Emirati government, they start arresting the Muslim Brotherhood, and they announced them to be a terrorist organization. So the plan was that we take over Emirat, we take over Saudi Arabia, all of Egypt, and Israel is surrounded from every place, and finally we have the caliphate state with a huge part of land, as you see in the screen. All of this was going to be under the control of Muslim Brotherhood, and for sure Qatar is the money back of the Muslim Brotherhood. The Prince of Qatar is a big well-known Muslim Brotherhood member and leader. So the plan was very huge, very big. The dream was beyond imagination. But what happened, it was totally different from what they want. In less than a year after the Muslim Brotherhood took over Egypt, people, they went in the street and they throw the Muslim Brotherhood government into jail. They arrested tens of thousands of them. And suddenly Erdogan, he lost his dream to control over Egypt and to be the caliphate. And then the Russian, they came and they involved in Syria. So the dream to control Syria disappeared by the involvement of the Russian. So now his empire will not be able to connect. And then because of his non-stable government and his etc., the plan of the Muslim Brotherhood to take over Jordan, became a dream, and the Jordanian government, they start putting a lot of pressure on them. And then because of the Saudi, they start arresting tens of thousands and kick them out of Emirat, of Bahrain, of Emirat, of Saudi Arabia. The dream is disappearing again and again. And then because Emirat, because of what happened, the Emirati and the Saudi, they noticed that the Muslim Brotherhood, they have a plan to take over their country, as we said here. They start supporting the opposition of the Muslim Brotherhood in Libya. So they start supporting someone like Haftar. I don't know if you heard of him. He is an enemy of the Muslim Brotherhood. And now actually Haftar is controlling a huge part of Libya, and actually soon he is going to enter the capital and he control it, which means the dream of Erdogan to control Libya disappear. And then not only that, Tunisia itself is switched upside down, and instead of having an Islamic party, for the first time ever in Tunisia, women, she have equal right as a Muslim man, which means she can inherit the same, and a man, he cannot marry four women, and a man, he cannot beat his wife. So the dream of Erdogan disappear from the map, country after country, plan after plan. And now the dream of Erdogan will disappear in Turkey itself. Count my words, and let us see how long the party of Erdogan is going to survive. One tweet from Trump made Turkey lose almost 30% of their income. Just one tweet. So if Trump, he tweet 10 times, what is going to be left? Turkey economy is collapsing, and because of what he did in Syria, this madman, he destroyed heavily his economy, because Syria was an open border to import and to export, but mostly to export from Turkey into other countries. But now Syria is not a friendly country no more. They became their enemies, and now they are the government of Syria are controlled by the enemy of Turkey, the Assad. And because Erdogan is stupid, and from the first day he came, he started speaking against Israel. So he lost another support to Turkey. Turkish economy is heavily involved with the Israeli money. So from the first day, he starts saying that he saw a dream, that Allah spoke to him, and he is going to take over Jerusalem, which means he is going to take over Israel, and he will control Israel, and he will make it again an Islamic state. And since then, his relationship with the Israeli is very bad. So he lost everybody. This guy. This is why Erdogan in the last 8 years, he tried to scam the European by having borders with Europe and saying to them, if you don't pay me billions of dollars, I'm going to open the refugee borders and they will flood you. So the refugee became a business. Turkey took a lot of refugee, not because they like them, but because it was a huge business to make a lot of a profit from it. So we receive from Europe, like last year, let's say $20 billion. We give the refugees 500 million, and the rest will go in the pocket of Erdogan and his government to survive. So Erdogan economy is really in a bad shape. Tourism in a bad shape. Money, income. I mean, if I show you what's happening there's a, Erdogan, he was able in a certain time to make a lot of Arab from rich countries like Emirat, Bahrain, Qatar, to invest heavily to build like new cities, like houses, real estate business. And now those real estate business are ghost town. If you can go right now, search in Turkey, ghost town Turkey, you will find how scary it is, the situation. They invested hundreds of millions of dollars, many companies, and now nobody can buy it, and nobody will buy it. You can get a house now in Turkey for very cheap price, especially in those areas where nobody wanna. I mean, they are brand new. They are beautiful villas, but the economy is so bad. So I believe that Turkey is going to face a big change sooner or later. Economy is bad. They have no more friends. They are enemy to everybody. And I'm talking about Erdogan himself, not the Turkish. As I said, I believe most of the Turkish, they oppose this man, big deal. But as you know, the Muslim parties, they will not leave a place unless you kick them out. And that is going to happen, I believe, is going to happen by a revolution violence. The coming election, maybe 2 years from now, I'm not sure. I don't know how many of you will remember what I'm saying today. You will see millions of Turkish going in what it's called, I believe it's going to be a revolution. The currency of Turkey is not even equal to the toilet paper. The change of prices is beyond imagination. You go to the market in the morning to buy a chicken, you come afternoon, the price is 3 times more. The salary does not match the cost of life. He made Qatar, Qatar is a very rich country. So Qatar, they did their best to keep Erdogan in the office by pumping a lot of money. But Turkey cannot live by the money coming from Qatar, because at the end of the day, it's too much money. We cannot fix it. This guy, he destroyed truly the economy. Erdogan, he decided he want to build a manufacturer for weapon, but nobody buying his weapon because nobody buy Turkish weapon. I remember I have a friend, he bought a Turkish gun. He shot, I think, 11 bullets, and the gun exploded in his face, and he spent like 2 months in the hospital. Turkish weapon is very well known to be scrap, garbage. Nobody will buy it, and nobody is convinced with it. So this guy really, he lost a great opportunity. Look how in the beginning when he took over, he was really successful he was smart. He made a good relationship with Syria. and that opened the market for all the Turkish to flood Syria here with a lot of product, and that make the product go to Jordan, go to Iraq, go to Saudi Arabia, go to everywhere. Syria is the gate for many countries. And because Iraq is not really secure to import directly, especially the one who controlled the borders with Turkey, most of them they are Kurdish. So it was the only gate maybe to go in this direction, even to Africa. And by closing that gate, Turkey he lost a lot of money. This guy, he brought nothing but disasters to Turkey. And let us see. You see, one day I was doing a radio show with the brother Osama Dagdok. I don't know how many of you know him. And actually, still the show is still there. You know, you can go watch it. Actually, somebody sent me a message, says to me, I don't believe that you said at that time that Obama will not leave unless he established an Islamic State. I said that in that show, that Obama will not leave until he established an Islamic State. At that time, nobody heard of this term, Islamic State, you know. So Osama was upset because he's an Egyptian, as you know. And the Muslim Brotherhood at that day, they won the election here. And this is what I said to him. I said to him, this is the beginning, and Obama will not leave until he established an Islamic State. But I believe in less than a year or two maximum, those actually no, I said to him, hold on. I said to him first, I believe this is a good news. Osama, he said, how you say that? I said, because the best way to show Muslims that Islam is a scrap, is garbage, is to bring Islam upon them as government, and then they will hate it. And then in less than a year, you will see that the same Muslims they voted for those Muslims to be in their charge is the same Muslims will kick them out. And less than a year, guys, 30 million Egyptian they went in the street and they took off the Muslim Brotherhood party. And not only they took them off, now they became wanted everywhere. Less than a year. And now if you are a Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, you are a terrorist. Actually, they are terrorists. They are criminals. They involve killing a lot of people, you know. Just yesterday, Malaysia, they sent back 6 members of the Muslim Brotherhood from their country back to Egypt because they are involved in killing many innocent people. So Erdogan plan destroyed by stupid mistakes done by the Muslim Brotherhood. And those stupid mistakes is very simple. It's like, you know, like somebody is so hungry he wanna eat and he cannot wait for the food to be ready. That's what happened exactly to the Muslim Brotherhood. Muslim Brotherhood, they were so successful to the point, imagine 8 ministers in Emirat, I think out of 16, 17, something like that, I forgot. They were Muslim Brotherhood. Imagine how much they control the government, including the education ministry. They almost took over the country. But they start moving so fast, and that make them exposed. And then the Prince of Emirat, his intelligence, they discover that there's a coup is going to happen against him. Same what happened in Saudi Arabia. They were spreading like fire everywhere, giving brochure, books, and the Saudi, they are not stupid. So both government was behind of a lot of collapse of the Muslim Brotherhood in the Middle East. And imagine Muslim Brotherhood is considered as a terrorist party by many Islamic government, but not by USA until now. Until now, Trump, he did not announce them to be terrorist for a very simple reason, because Trump is no better than Obama in many ways. He is just a businessman. He cares for money. Qatar is a rich country which Trump he need. And in order to consider Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization, that means he have to arrest the Prince of Qatar, for he is #1 sponsor for the Muslim Brotherhood in the world. You see, like I voted for Trump, but not because Trump is really the best, but Trump is the best between donkeys. Like let us say, at least he is not liberal who will bring judges to the more important for me actually, I voted for him because of the Supreme Court. He promised he will bring conservative Christians to the Supreme Court. Otherwise, I believe that Trump, he is too much other copy of many other president before him. You know, or what he cared for. If you remember, Trump, he went in this one day in the White House and he said the Prince of Qatar, he have to stop sponsoring the terrorist. Okay, a week after, Trump, he signed a deal of selling more than 30 airplanes to Qatar. A week before you say he is a terrorist, a week after you give him 30 airplanes. You know what I mean? So all what he is doing, he was just forcing them to give money to America. You know, buy from us, we will shut our mouth. Spend money. And this is exactly what happened. The money start coming like rain. And Qatar start buying weapons they don't even need, just to silence Trump. And okay, leave us alone. Middle East always is corrupt, and this is nothing new. You know, I'm came from there. Even the grocery guy is a corrupt guy. Even the gas station, you go to buy gas, you find half of your tank is water. I mean, you go there, you will not believe it what you will see. You know, many people, they have an idea. If you live between people, they speak too much about God, and I'm speaking about what my experience in between Muslims. You think you will have a better society. I never saw a corrupt society as the society where we lived in the Middle East. You go to the grocery store to buy, or the vegetable guy, we don't have really, like, you know, they are separated. You go to buy tomato as an example. He don't allow you to pick up the tomato by yourself. No, you have to tell him how many kilos you want, and he pick it up for you. He pick up all the garbage he have of the tomato he went through in the garbage. He put it in the bottom of the case, and then in the top he put for you 3 or 4, which is look good or good to eat. You go home, you find that half of what you paid for is garbage. You go to the butcher to buy beef, you find later that it is a donkey meat. You go to the judge. You go to the judge. You know, you go to court. The one who pay more is the one who will win. It's not who is right, who is not. You know, I know a story where a thief, they are released, and the owner of the house, he was jailed because the thief, they paid more, they have more money. So you know, people who do not live there, they have different explanation and different understanding, especially those who they are, let us say, American rich people who live there, because you know, you are isolated, you don't speak the language, you do not know them, and they treat you differently. You know, if you ask a person, as an example, about Emirat, if we ask a person who is rich, what do you think about Emirat? He will say, Emirat is fun, I like it, I lived there for many years, I made a lot of money. If you ask the same question to someone, he's an Indian, what you will say? It is horrible. They discriminate me, they insult me, I was working almost for nothing, I am no one there. If you are a British citizen and you work in Dubai and you have a contract with a company, they give you an apartment, good salary, etc. If you're an Indian, they put 30, 40 people in the top of each other in shelves. You know, shelves, honest to God, in shelves. And they treat you like you know, they don't treat you even like a human being. Go and read the report about what they are doing to poor employees from India or Philippines or Bangladesh in Qatar. Go and see slavery. People get killed. I mean, there's a guy in Saudi Arabia. He put his employees in the cage because he was upset for, I don't know what team they lost the game. So you go there, it's an slavery land. But if you ask a person who is coming from the West about his experience with Qatar, you will say, I like it, I have a lot of money. but because you have a citizenship which protect you, they don't treat you the same. I saw many of those naive, American, British. They say, no, it's good. I was there, but the fact it is the hell of a place. You want to see how it is? Go back and come back as an Indian citizen or Indonesian citizen. In Saudi Arabia, more than 1,200 women, female, get killed, and nobody knows until now what they are in 1 year. 1,200 Indonesian maid get killed in 1 year, and you believe it or not, not a single case the police was able to find who is the killer. Have you ever heard of a police like this? A 1,200 cases. Look what they do to them. They bring those poor Indonesian women from Indonesia. You come, people want to work. I mean, people are poor, they want to work. A person who's willing to work as a maid, obviously he needs a job, and nothing wrong with working. But when they bring you to Saudi Arabia, the first job you will do is to be the sex slave of every male in the house. And not only that, they might even bury you, exchange you. Like, and I have Indonesian maid in my house, and you have a Filipino maid in your house. Hey, Muhammad, what about I give you my for 5 days, you give me yours just for fun and for sex. And then after some time, many men sleep with this woman. Let us say they are raping her, they are not sleeping with her. She get pregnant, and now they have a problem because this is not allowed in Saudi Arabia. Big problem. And now she might report them to the embassy. So what they do, they kill the woman and they throw her in the desert. Do you know how big the desert of Saudi Arabia is? Use your imagination. Saudi Arabia is almost 1,000,000 kilometers big. 1,000,000 kilometers. So they kill her and they dump her in the desert. And who is going to find you? And if they find you after maybe a year or two, you will be bones. And who is going to be? And look what they do. After they kill you and they throw you in the desert, they go to the police. They say, our maid, she ran away. She stole our jewelries. Maybe I think she ran with her boyfriend. She was texting somebody. The police will write down, and the police, they knew they are the same. So they kill the poor woman and they dump her in the desert. And 1,200, I don't know if any of you search it in Google. You can search it. I'm not making things up. To the point Indonesia because Saudi Arabia, they will never allow any female to go to Saudi Arabia anymore to work as a maid, because there's no way 1,200 cases you cannot find even one killer. So the more you know about those countries, the more you see that the image they show you, like lately they start talking about what happened to the you remember the journalist? They call him the fact he's a terrorist. He's not journalist. He's a Muslim Brotherhood too. Do you remember Khashoggi, Jamal Khashoggi, the guy who was butchered in the embassy? But this is just an example. I mean, they butcher people everywhere. But what happened that this one was exposed? But how many thousands and thousands of people get butchered and nobody knows about them? It happened that this guy, he worked in an American newspapers, and it's a very big one, and they promote the news, and Qatar was behind him too. Otherwise, if it's you or me, you will disappear. Nobody will know about you. Not only he was killed, they butchered him. Until now they cannot find his remain because they made him shish kebab. Literally, they made him, ground beef. All those countries are the same, and you notice that all of them, they are very Islamic. The more Islamic the country is, the more no freedom it is there. See, the reason until now people in Turkey, they can go and they can march in the street because Muslim really did not take over the country yet. Yes, Erdogan, he controlled the country as a Muslim party, but still the majority of people, they are not really under his command, and they don't believe in Allah, and they don't want to be Muslims. Always, you know, we learn how to like let us say to believe in news. We hear it in a TV, but most of TVs, they don't really give you news. They give you opinion. Like now, I'm giving you opinion. I'm not just reporting a news. I'm giving you my opinion. But there's a difference between a news agency, which supposedly not should not give an opinion because they are supposedly news agency. Their job is to report news. They don't do that. They promote all of them. They promote like an agenda. CNN have an agenda. Fox News have an agenda. Everybody have an agenda, and the news change based on the agenda. If Trump said something, the title in CNN will be different from the same incident in Fox News. The same story, different titles. Why? Because both have different agenda and both are liars. To make it simple, like, you know, let us say I am an Arab and I was driving my car and I hit a dog. I hit a dog. Okay. Now, if somebody want to play a hatred game against me because I'm an Arab, he will say an Arab guy, he killed an American dog. But that's not what happened. I did not kill an American dog. I killed a dog, and by accident. So by changing the title, you make people have their own like different reception already for what they are going to read. You know what I mean? Just by changing the title, people, they don't really read the news, they read the title. So we have to be careful about what we read and who is saying that to us. Like, you know, in my phone I have an app which have all the opposition's news agencies, which mean, like, you know, every agency speak about against, like in especially in the Middle East. So in order to receive a correct news, I have the agencies who speak against each other because they expose each other, and then you have to filter yourself, where is the truth? Otherwise nobody will tell you the truth. But what happened in the street is the truth. You see, when liberals, they went in the street when Trump, he was elected, and they start burning cars, that is the truth. Is not what CNN says. They speak about hatred, that is hatred. A guy, he won the election, why you are burning cars? Why you are breaking windows? I mean, what this guy, he have a store have to do with the Trump? What my car to do with the Trump? I mean, you are angry from Trump, you burn my car? That is hatred. That is filth. But in the news, there are people that report to you that people are angry from Trump, but the fact this their anger have nothing to do with the Trump, because you are not even attacking Trump. You are burning the cars of people. Since when, if I am angry from Obama, I can express my anger from Obama by burning your car? What about I burn my car? Okay, you want to show us that you're angry by burning cars? Burn your car. You know what I mean? Look at this guy here saying properly CP was a translator and he got given citizenship because of that. That is the most funny thing ever I heard. Since when, if you are a translator, you can get a citizenship? I have somebody is looking for, he want to get citizenship. Can you get me the how we can get that? Funny people. Properly. Yeah, this is CNN now. You know, the problem in this society we live in, we did not learn how to read what is between our hands. The same when we read Quran to the Muslims. Muslims, they read the same verse every day, but they don't see what I see, because we did not learn how to analyze words and history and facts and what's happening. Everyone, he wanna think about, you know, things happen in his own way. It's just like a news. It's not a news. Like, you know, many of you believe in the global warming, right? And everybody is laughing at Trump because of the global warming. My friend, it is proven that there's many fabrication about the global warming to make money, to collect donation. There's a huge institute. They live from the idea of a global warming. There's people that are making tons of money just from a global warming idea, and nobody can stop the global warming, even if it's true. One volcano is going to increase the carbon in the air more than millions of cars for the coming 20 years. Just one volcano. And that is a normal cycle. You know, when we have the ice age, according to the science, they say ice age millions of years ago. There was cars at that time. I mean, this is silly, right? So it's a nature, and nobody can stop the nature from doing what it's need to do. The earth balance itself, and they want to fool you, and they want to make you believe that you are the one who is changing the atmosphere. Like, you know what his name? Al Gore. Al Gore, he was going from country to country to teach you how to save the earth. He was teaching them that if you leave the bathroom, you have to turn off the light. But Al Gore, to come to you and do the seminar he just did, he took his own jet, which means what he burned in his airplane to come to you, a whole airplane just for one guy. How much gas he spent? And yet he is lecturing me about turning off the light when I leave the room. You know what I mean? His house is the biggest villa ever you can imagine. The light never turn off, the security lights. And yet he is giving us a speech about turning off the light of the bathroom. If you go and see those liberals, they are talking about going green, but all of them, they are driving the most expensive four-wheel drive. Like, how you want to go green if you yourself you have the most expensive burning gas cars? They want you to drive a car like a donkey, but they want to have they want to drive and they want to have an airplane. But because you are a person who is driven by ideas which is not your ideas, and you became a victim of those ideas, that's it. You believe Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is going to have a war against drugs. Have you ever heard of somebody want to go for election? He want to have war. He want to stop the war against drugs. What do you want? You want us to go drive cars and we are high? Do you know how many people die every day because of drugs? Have you ever heard that somebody going for election to be a president, he says we should stop war against drugs? I never heard of this before. So what do you want? You want a teacher, he go to school teaching children, and then he is high, he start raping kids? He's high. What do you want? The Pentagon, all of them, they are in drugs. What about the president himself in drugs? And then he hit the nuclear weapon. I mean, stupidity. And still there's people who want to vote for him and they love him very much. But how we arrive to such a time and such a moment that even such a guy with an obvious stupidity, still people support him? Because we have a generation, they learn that stupidity is being smart. Drugs is good. I mean, those who they are against drugs, they are stupid. This is what they believe. Now, the funny, they speak about science, they speak about the global warming, but when it's come to science, they don't want to. They don't want the science to be involved with the drugs. I mean, isn't it science proof that drugs kill you? Isn't it science says that drugs will destroy your brain, your cell's brain? Isn't it science says that if you take a drugs, you get so old so fast and you die so fast? They don't want science. When they want science is required, when they want science is not. Uh, so always don't take what those people say to you for granted. Use your brain. You are a human being who is being given a gift. Use it. And don't join a crowd just because it's a crowd. There is something, it's called the theory of the cattle. I don't know if you know what does that mean. Like if you see a group of people gathering, you gather with them because you became curious. Just because they are a group of people, you gather. If you walk in the street now and you see 10 people looking at the sky, you start looking too. But maybe they are making fun of you. Just because they are looking, you look. A human being sometimes have the nature of a fish. Like you see the sardine, they go in a huge group. Even they knew that this is a big risk because that will bring the big fish, and the big fish will open their mouth and they will swallow 1,000 of them in one head. Why you walk together? That will not make you stronger. Still you are a small fish and you can't attack anyone and you will never attack anyone. So why you walk together? What is this unity? What this is stupid unity is about? And this is what happened to a human being sometime. He liked to follow a group, and some people they think if a huge group believe in something, it means true. Just because they are huge in number. Like how many times you heard Muslims saying, if Islam is not true, how come we are 1.4 billion? Well, you want to see how many Muslims left out of the 1.4 billion? Just yesterday, there's a guy, he was jailed in Malaysia for 10 years for posting one word against Islam. 10 years. This is how you make people stay under Islam. And now anyone he dare to open his mouth, he will think about it 100 times. 10 years for posting a post in a Twitter, and he did not even say anything. He said, I don't believe in this. That's it. I don't believe in this. 10 years. This is how they are a group, and bigger group, because there's nobody there. Terrorism. Give them freedom, the same as what happened to those women in the street, and they start shouting at Islam, and they don't want Islam no more. They were making fun of the prayer of Allah in the heart of Turkey. So don't go by their propaganda, and don't go by their what they say to you in the news. News, they pick up their cherries. Whatever is sweet for them is sweet, and whatever is sore. Depend on the person who is in charge of the news desk. Once I called the CNN and I said to them, I have a news for you if you can publish it, please. They said, what news? I said, I got a video from Al Jazeera TV saying 16,000 Muslims leave Islam a day. They said to me, let us transfer you to the finance department. I said, what finance department? What for? They said, because you have to pay for it if you want to publish it. I said, well, I saw in your CNN every week it says Islam is the fastest growing religion. Every week for more than a year. CNN every day. I mean, as if there is nothing important in the world except saying that Islam is the fastest growing. We found that this was paid. They said to me, if you want to publish it, we will send you to the finance department. You can publish it, but this will be your news. That's why you have to pay for it. So Islam is the fastest growing religion in CNN was nothing but a hawkers paid by somebody, obviously a Muslim, just to make you believe that this is true. And then you read, you see CNN, you see, oh, Islam is the fast. It says there in CNN. Islam foundation in the Bible. My friend, Islam has no foundation. So don't mix the Bible with Islam. Islam has no foundation. Islam is a collection of stupidity. Muhammad, he took some stories from the Christians, some story from the Jews, some stories from the Yazidi, the Sabian, some story from the Ethiopian, some stories from the Greek, and he put it all in the Quran. What foundation? Not everything you hear is true, and not everything is true you hear. Mostly, actually, the truth is going to be always covered, always. It's not for their benefit to say to you really what's happening. Uh, anyway, I just wanted to share this is a story with you. And who want to remind me in a year, or let us say the election, when the coming election in Turkey, anyone knows? For Erdogan, the presidency. Count my words and see what will happen in Turkey in the coming election. Erdogan, he will corrupt the election and he will win again, and the revolution will happen. Because this guy, he will never leave, not even for the coming century. Election after election, it doesn't matter how many election, he will win forever unless the Turkish they go and make a revolution. You bring a Muslim party to the office, they never leave. Never leave unless you go in war. And the one who will decide the fate of this Muslim party in Turkey, which are obviously collapsing, is money. Money. If Erdogan was able to fix it before that date, maybe he gets succeed by having a true election. But I don't think people they will. Uh, yeah, Erdogan will never leave. Not only Erdogan, any Islamic parties. Look at Iran. The Iranian regime, the Islamic regime, they came as revolution. Supposedly we will make election. A few people want us, we will stay. You don't want us, we will leave. And imagine, since 40 years until now, they never left. That's it. They are the only party. Have you ever heard of a party? There's no other party except his party. And the funny, they make election every few years. But this election, the only members they can go for election is the member of their party. It's like communist. Okay, we will make election for you. It's a fake election. Like, okay, you can elect either a Christian prince, he is a communist, and this guy Abdul, he is a communist, and this guy, he is a communist, and this guy is a communist. Choose one of the communists. And this is what they do. And then they fool us and they say we have election, and we have a president, he won the election. And not only that, the president in Iran, he is not really the president. The one in charge is the big mullah. The higher president, he is the puppet, like in the front of the TV, he is the president, he is the one who make decision. But the fact the one who make decision is the big mullah, the Khamenei. And the funny, a Muslim saying to us in text, I am a Muslim and Islam mean peace. In which language Islam mean peace? Islam is not the word peace in Arabic is salam. Islam is to surrender. Here we go, fake news. Islam is totally the opposite of the word peace. It is the opposite. Surrender or die. This is what Islam means. The word peace in Arabic is salam, coming from the Aramaic, coming from the Hebrew. In Hebrew you say shalom. So don't lie to yourself. Islam is not salam. Islam is to surrender, which means Muhammad is said, and let me show you. Convert, you will be safe. Safe from what? From killing you. You want to see how Islam means peace according to you? Get you busted in a second. Now he will say to me, this is a fake hadith. Read with me. Aslim taslam. Aslim taslam. Let's see in the translation. Here we go. Do you see it, guys? Enter Islam, you will be safe. That's exactly what it says in Arabic. Enter Islam, you will be safe. Which means convert or die. That is a true meaning of Islam. Islam is not peace and never been have nothing to do with the word peace. It's totally written different written word. But because they knew that you do not know, I mean, you don't know Arabic, we can fool you. My interpretation is wrong. Okay, let me show you your private interpretation. Is that okay, guys? Is that okay if I show him the private interpretation? Okay. I think now you will say your private interpretation is wrong. Let's see what you will say now. What do you say about that? Tell me wrong, please. Where is the Abdul? Where is the Abdul who's saying your interpretation is wrong? Show me your opinion. Are you there, Abdul? Islam means peace, right? I mean, obviously it is. Look at this. Muslims, Muhammad is teaching the Muslim to be fascist. What the fascism is about? We are the best of mankind, and the rest are animals. So what we would do with them? We bring them and we put chains around their necks. Do you see it? Who is the best of mankind? The Muslims. Why? Because they put a chain around your neck and they bring you as a slave. What do you want more? Islam means peace. Muhammad, he want you to enter paradise with a chain around your neck. How? By forcing you to Islam. He will conquer you. He will put a chain around your neck and he will not let you get out of the chain like a dog unless you convert to Islam. And this is how he enter you into heaven. Islam means peace. And now he will say Muhammad is a liar. Say that. Say it. Say Muhammad is a liar. Read the Quran. Okay, we read the Quran, guys. This guy, he don't want read the Quran. Forget about Muhammad. Muhammad is an idiot. Is the Quran is better? Isn't it the Quran says kill the Christians and the Jews wherever you find them until they pay the jizya or they convert to Islam? Now he will say to me, don't read the Quran. Why you are reading the Quran? Forget about the Quran. So what we will read next? Mickey Mouse. Isn't it the Quran even says that non-Muslims are dirty? They are najis, they are filthy. What kind of religion says a human being just because he's not from my religion he is a filthy? Imagine I say, I make a sign says Muslims are filthy and don't make them enter the road. The Muslim, they say that in South Africa the white man, he was discriminating the black man, he don't allow him to go in the same bus. Well, you do that, the whole city have zero Christians, zero Jews, zero Hindus, only Muslims. Why? Because we are dirty. Are you going to say to me the Quran is lying now? Kill the Christians, kill the Jews, and anyone who don't believe in Allah, unless they acknowledge the truth, which is Muhammad. Either they pay the jizya or they die. What you will say now? Go back to the hadith? You don't like Quran? Even the Quran, by the way, says you cannot even take your father and your brother as a friends if they are not Muslims. If you go to chapter 9 verse 23, and here we go, that's your translation. Even your parents, they are your enemy. I feel sorry for those. You know, there's many people, by the way, they are Muslims, but they don't know. I mean, Islam means peace. They heard that in TV. They saw that in the newspaper. They saw that in the Facebook. What peace? Go and say one word against the Prophet in Saudi Arabia. Let's see how much peace they will give you. Peace all over we will be. Islam is peace. To the point, if somebody he made a statement in Twitter, they took him and they throw him from the top of the fourth floor, and this is in a university in Bangladesh, I think, and the police is watching. So my friend, they try to say things, but the story is different story. Don't forget to watch the video we made today previously, before this video a few hours ago, so you might learn a lot of things. This video is mostly about politics, as you see, and we just wanted to share with you some my opinion, and you don't have to agree with me about what's happening in Turkey and what's happening in Islamic worlds. Now, for sure, everyone have his own opinion, and everyone he have his own observation for things. For me, always, me coming from the Middle East helped me to see things differently from maybe most of you, because we experience different stories. You know, you don't know the Middle East, you see it from TV. We are the Middle East, and there's a huge difference between somebody like me. When I came to America first time, you know, like at that time there was no internet, etc. So like people, they call me from the Middle East, they say to me, do you see shooting in the street? Do you see women, they are wearing no clothes, washing cars with their boobs? Why? Because there was a movie made by, I don't know by who, promoted very much by anti-American propaganda. It's called This Is America. I think it's made by Iran. This Is America. In this movie, This Is America, you don't wash your car by your hands. American women, they are always naked, and they wash it to you by their breast. And when they call me, did you wash your car by women breast or not yet? I say, I did not see any women breast in the street, nowhere. Do people shoot each other in the street? No. They imagine America is what they see in American movie, like Sylvester Stallone going over the highway and shooting, and 20 cars left, right, and 20 cars, I mean, this is America. So at that time, if you ask me about America, I will give you that image, because this is what I thought America is. But I was smarter than, I mean, I will not believe in this, but somehow they made me believe that America is really crazy. But when I came here, I found that what they say about America is not what America is about. In the Middle East, it's easier to get women from getting women in America. A lot easier. In the Middle East, you can do everything illegal a lot easier. Actually, there everything is illegal. The computer is illegal. You can get any software you want for less than $1. Any software. But what they tell you about a country you never been there is different from what it is. And if you want to learn about the Middle East, don't learn about it from what they say to you in a newspaper or somebody who work in Dubai. Dubai is a fake image of the Middle East. Anyone remember the video when somebody accused by the brother of the prince of Dubai that he stole money from him? He was a Pakistani. Anyone saw the video? The prince was putting salt in his anus, beating him with nails, going over him by his car. This was taped. So imagine if you have a problem in Dubai with somebody is important, what will happen to you? You can search it. It's there. Always remember, news have two images. An image somebody want you to see and a true image. Like the Palestinian when they make news against Israel. Like I saw yesterday, and the news says Israeli soldiers arrested 2 donkeys. I mean, you look what Israeli soldiers arrested a donkey. Donkeys are coming to their post. They have to get rid of them. So the soldiers, they get those donkeys and they take them away. Hey, here we go. Israeli soldiers arresting donkeys, and the news is all over. Israeli soldiers arresting 2 donkeys. So now if I see a donkey in my yard and I hold him from his leash, I'm arresting him. And then they will say Christian prince is arresting a donkey. Because this is what they want you to believe. That those Jews are unjust. Even donkeys are arresting them, brother. I mean a donkey. Now, did you ask yourself why the title is like that? Let me see if I can find you the news. Just to show you I'm not making things up. You know, it might be funny, hard to believe, but yeah, that's what the news says to you. Israeli soldier. Here we go. Do you see it? Israeli forces arrest a donkey in Jerusalem. And look, this is all over the news. I mean, and actually, the funny, I saw that yesterday, but yet this is news from 2017, which means they are repeating the same news. I mean, imagine how the propaganda go beyond imagination just to put somebody down. Somebody, he hate the Jews. So what will you do? Let us blame the Jews for anything. In the Middle East, we have a tradition. Anything happened to us, we blame the Jews. If you ask the government why we don't have electricity, we have a war with the Jews. What's wrong with you? Okay, why we don't have jobs? We have war with the Jews. What's wrong with you? Why our street is dirty? Why we have tons of holes in the street? Why we cannot walk safely in the street? Because we have war with the Jews. What's wrong with you? If a guy he could not have sex with his wife in the Middle East, he blamed the Jews. His penis is not working because of the Jews. He is so stressed. Brother, how I'm going to have sex with my wife and I see this in news, brother? They blame the Jews for anything. And actually, this is the culture they inherited from Muhammad. If you remember, Muhammad, he said, if not the Jews, no meat or food will decay. The reason we have refrigerator today is because of the Jews. Do you see it? The prophet said, where is not Bani Israel, which means the children of Israel, meat would not decay. And you are asking me why everything is upside down? The meat is not meat will not decay if there's no Jews. What this man is saying simply, he's trying to make you believe that the Jews are bacteria. Is that correct? This is what he's saying, and this is absolutely evil. And yet they say to you Islam is peace. Imagine if I say the same but about the Muslims. I will be in court tomorrow. The funny, all news agencies, by the way, speak against Israel, that they are the occupation. Even Western agency, they call them the occupation. But the fact, this is not, they are not the occupation. We are the occupation. We are the Arab. We are the occupation. We are the one who took the land from the Jews. What occupation? The first time an Arab person he into Jerusalem is in the 7th century. Before that, nobody even speak Arabic. More than 200 years after, 250 years after, they start forcing people even to speak Arabic, which means until not long time ago, people they speak no Arabic there. Nobody speak Arabic. But if you watch news agencies, they will say to you that the Israeli occupation. What occupation? This is their land. Where Jesus was baptized? Jesus was baptized in the land of the Arab. Hello. And if you are a Christian and you believe that this is not the land of the Jews, you are going against your Bible. And you are going against Jesus too. Because all the history in the Bible presented clearly that this is the land of the Jews. That means you are a big fat hypocrite. From the first page to the last page, all of it confirmed that this is the land of the Jews. But you know, always we are victims of what we learn, and what we learn sometimes have nothing to do with the truth. When I was in school, I asked a teacher a question. I said, who is the one who built Jerusalem? He said, according to history, Islamic history, it was David and Suleiman. I said, and David and Suleiman, they are Jews? He said, yes. I laughed and sat down. 2 hours, the idiot, he's saying to us that the Jews, they took our land. 2 hours. Speaking about the kuffar, the Jews, they took our land. I got him busted I did not even say anything. I just asked him, who is the one who built this city according to history? Is according to Islamic history, the one who built it is David and Suleiman. Suleiman in Arabic is Solomon. And I said, is David and Solomon, they are Jews? He said, yes. I mean, look at this idiot. All this time is making a speech that the Jews, they took our land, and now you are the one who just said that the one who built that city is 2 Jews. How we took their land and they are the one who built it. Most of Arab and the Middle Eastern, even Christians, they are copy paste, you know, copy paste. Nobody want to read, nobody want to study, nobody want to ask questions. Ask no questions. Even the Quran in chapter 5:101, it says ask no questions. And the Quran, he made that for a reason, because if you ask questions, you leave Islam. You became smart. You are not allowed to be smart. Stay donkey. We are going to give you a degree and you will graduate as a professional donkey, not as a professional smart person. Have you ever heard of a prophet he forbid people from asking questions? So don't be like those fools who believe in ask no questions. Ask questions and try to find the answer for them by your own way. And today we are really lucky that we have like when I was, I don't know how many of you you know remember, at least for me when I was in the Middle East, and even actually when I came to America, there was no internet anyway. I used to walk almost an hour to go, an hour to come back, if not more sometime, depending which library I'm going to, just to read a book. Now you have the internet, you sit in your home in your bed and you make two keyword search and you find thousands of articles to read, videos to watch about science, about space. I mean, it's amazing. In our time to seek knowledge, it's very costly, very harsh, it's not easy. Today you are lucky. Look at us. I am here in the state and many of you are from around the earth, and we are in one chat room and you hear me in the same second I say something. That's amazing. We don't have that luxury, but yet I notice that today's generation are very foolish. I mean, with all the opportunity to learn, we are not learning. People are spending their time watching games, playing games. You will see a guy, he is 35 years old, he spends his day playing games. Okay, so that's it. This is the target of life, to play game. Play game, no problem. You see, I'm not against people to have fun, by the way. But we should give food to our heart, to our brain. A brain, if you don't use it, it's not going to grow. It's like a brain is like a tree. The more you pump information inside, the more it's going to grow. Why you want your brain to stay small? There's a guy, his name is Mike Dice. I don't know if you know him. I saw him on YouTube. I saw his videos. He asked in California, he asked people, the 4th of July, what is that? They don't know. I mean, have you ever heard of a stupidity like this? A person who is born in America all his life, he do not know what the 4th of July. How we reached that point? They asked them, what is the name of the president, the last president? What is the name? I mean, they asked him a question you can't even believe. They don't know. What is the capital of California? They don't know. Ask them a question about marijuana. They knew the price, where you can find it, how to smoke it, where you can buy the pipe for it. Those are important things. This is what they want of your kids to be. They want them to be the same as Islam. Let me show you this guy. His name is Ali Tariq. Guys, do you want to show you how you can get the Muslim busted? Show you how stupid the Muslims when they say something about Jesus? Let me read this for you. Ali Tariq is saying there was two Jesus at the trial. Even the Bible confirmed this, and the Quran says they confirm they want to say crucified the one who is not the Messiah. Do you want me to show you that you are a liar? Do you want me to show you? Let me show you. First of all, in the Bible it says clearly, the ruler, he said, which one you want me to free for you? The one, his name, you call him the Messiah, or the other one? They said the one who claimed to be the Messiah. Why you are a liar? Secondly, look what your Quran says, and I will show you in the screen so everybody will laugh at you. You are claiming in the Bible that the Jews did not, they free Jesus, right? They free Jesus, the true Jesus. Look what the Quran says, proving that you are a liar like your prophet. They said, who? The Jews, we killed the Christ. They killed who? They did not kill Jesus only, they killed the Christ. Do you see it, Abdul? Is the other one, his name is Christ too? We killed the Christ. Jesus, the son of Mary, the other one, his name is too, is Jesus, the son of Mary? And he is the messenger of Allah. And yet you are saying to me that the Jews, they free the other one. Stupidity is amazing. And then look what Allah says. Allah, he made him appear to be like that. He did not make someone have a same name. He made him appear. All the Muslims believe that Allah, he made someone look exact like Jesus, which means your Quran confirm that the people, they saw someone look exactly like Jesus. You liar. That's mean he's Jesus. If I witness an execution of somebody and he look exact like Jesus, he have the eyes of Jesus, the face of Jesus, and he say, I am Jesus. The look of Jesus, the hair of Jesus, and then you tell me that this is not Jesus. Either you are stupid or you don't have eyes. So the Quran confirm that he, Allah, he made it appear to them, which means Allah is a deceiver and he's a liar, which means they are honest and they are saying the truth because they said what they did and what they saw, and the Quran confirmed that it was made to appear to them. If Allah deceived me and made me see Jesus on the cross, it is the fault of who? It is the fault of the deceiver who made me see that. Abdul, do you see how we make barbecue of your religion? Your prophet is a fraud. And how somebody came 600 years after Jesus? He never met Jesus. He never speak the language of Jesus. He never been even in Jerusalem, and yet he is witnessing to what happened to Jesus. And the funny, the Abdul, they say to you, how you accept the book of John, and the book of John written 60 years after Jesus. 600 years he came. And not only that, the Quran they have today is written more than 400 years after he came, which means after Muhammad came, which means after more than 1,000 years of Jesus. Are you there, Ali Tariq? I hope you are not suffering from some pain or something. Even your Quran getting you busted. There was 2 Jesus or 1 Jesus there? You know, first time I heard Chinese, actually I was reading a book, and I like this statement that Chinese, they say, he left as a donkey, he never came back as a horse. And I'm sure now the Chinese were talking about who? He left as a donkey, he never came back as a horse. How you can make a donkey a horse? It's impossible unless you are Allah. And by the way, as long as we are talking about donkeys and horses, do you know that Allah, he think that he created the mule? Since when the mule is a Allah, he said he created everything in bear. Everything in bears, which means 2, 2, 2, male and female. And then he says he created the mule. Okay, what is the female mule? Allah created the mule. Who is the mule? He said that. How Allah, he says he created everything in bears, male and female, and then he says he created the mule. Okay, Allah created the mule. How he created the mule? Explain to me. Who's the Muslim want to say to us? And what is the female mule? Paul did not meet Jesus. Guys, did you see? I can get you busted from the Quran. Chapter 36 in the Quran says that Paul is the messenger of Jesus and the messenger of Allah. I mean, stupid, they are stupid. They don't know what's in their books. All Islamic scholars, they say that Paul is one of the most powerful messengers of Allah. Donkeys in, donkeys out. How you can make a person who left as a donkey, he come back as a horse? Copy paste. They keep attacking Paul, but they do not know that every single Muslim scholar book, they praise Paul. They are copy paste of Zakir Naik and that and the donkeys, but nobody want to read his book. This your books, you donkey. It's your book saying that Paul is the messenger of Allah. In the same time, he is a messenger of Jesus, which means the Muslims agree that Jesus must be God. Because how God accept that Jesus sent messengers in his name? This is your Quran, you donkey. Copy paste. And look, he will post something else. You know, they jump like monkeys. It's like you have to chase the rat, you know, like from a corner to a corner to a corner. Now we answer him about Paul. He will change the topic. He don't want to talk about it. He talk about Jesus. He don't want to talk about, you get them busted. They throw something else. My friend, we knew all the colors of the underwears of your prophet, including the one he accused that he stole it. So don't go there. All his laundry, we have it. Have you ever heard of a prophet he stole an underwear and his followers accuse him of stealing underwear? And he is the best of mankind. The best of mankind was accused of stealing underwear. By who? By the Jews? No. By the Christians? No. By the Hindus? No. By the Muslims. And by the way, until now this underwear is missing, just to be honest with you. Until now, no FBI, no CIA. Until now, this underwear is missing. And if you find it, please let me know. We can sell it for a lot of money. I mean, have you ever heard of a God? He sent a message saying it's not Muhammad who took the underwear, but you don't tell us where the underwear is. Obviously, it's Muhammad who took it. Because if Allah is God and he knew who is the one who took the real thief, he should tell us who is the one who took it. It's not enough to say to me it's not Muhammad who took it. And the funny, it's a red underwear. If you bring Detective Columbus, he can find it. Colombo, what's his name? Colombo? Let us call Colombo. He will find one more question. You go there, he asks one more question. One thing, I remember this. I have a question. Allah God, he could not find who took the underwear. It's obvious, it's Muhammad, and he's wearing it. Because if it's not Muhammad, Allah will say, if he is true God, he will say, okay, go to this house, the house of this guy. Who is the one who took it? Anyway, guys, I want to say thank you for being here. Please don't forget to watch the video previous to this one. It's more important, and this one just about politics, and we end talking about Islam as usual. Anyway, like even from the beginning, even though we are speaking about politics, as you know, Islam is politics. Islam is not really meant to be a religion. Islam is an organization, power seeking, money seeking, sex seeking. It's about sex and money and power. It's not about God. Never was, never been, and never will be. That's what Islam is about. If you pray to Allah, he will increase the size of your penis. He will give you a bracelet. He will make you control 80,000 slaves, power and sex and food. Allah is not God. He's never exist. Islam is about dominating, controlling government. It's not about spiritual and belief. Islam is about enforcing rules, which is have nothing to do with you. You don't believe in it, but still you will force you to do it because it's a dictatorship. Islam is about fascism. This is why Muhammad, he said, and we showed in the hadith, where he said that the best of mankind is the Muslims. Why? Because they will bring them and the chains around their necks. That is the duty of a Muslim. The best of Muslims is the one who go enslave people, put chains around their necks, and they humiliate them and they force them into converting to Islam. That is Islam, my friend. It's not what they say to you in the fake news agencies. It is what you see in the front of your eyes. ISIS are not bad Muslims. They are the best of Islam. The bad Muslim is the one who don't carry jihad. This is what Islam teach. The good Muslim is the one who do what Muhammad did. Name for me one thing ISIS did and Muhammad did not do. Actually, I confirm to you, and I stand behind my words, that ISIS is 1,000 times more merciful and nicer than Muhammad, and we can prove it easy. Don't make them fool you, my friend. Thank you very much for being here, and until we see you soon again, may the Lord bless you. Christ is Lord, Islam is false, and see you soon again. Bye-bye. Take care.